The top of every mountain is the bottom of another. The top of every mountain is the bottom of another. Run for cover, you'll discover some will thrive and others suffer. Cause the top of every mountain is the bottom of another. Ooh, don't wait, don't hesitate. Better speak the truth, let it resonate and let it detonate and get blown away. Till you keep on rising to a higher place. Can't stop, won't stop, don't stop coming till we hit the top. Gotta keep pushing till the day I make it. Since they won't give it to me, then I got to take it. The pain today is power tomorrow. Keep on coming, but you'll never catch me running. Cause I won't bow down. No matter what they say, I wouldn't do it any other way. Keep on coming, but you'll never catch me running. Cause I won't bow down. The top of every mountain is the bottom of another. The top of every mountain is the bottom of another. Not enough to keep us smothered. Lower class, never the upper. Cause the top of every mountain is the bottom of.
Good evening, UN Spacey Wolf Squadron. This is your Wolf Commander Wolftan. I'm your werewolf. And tonight, here on the Royal Millennials, we're going to talk about comedy. Yeah, that's right. We're going to talk about our favorite comedians. We're going to talk about our favorite brand of comedy. You know, we're going to have some fun. Here with me right now is the Hound of the South Dominic Pal.
Good evening, morning, or afternoon, everyone. This is the Habit of the Style, Dominic Cullen, and welcome to tonight's episode of the Room Millennials. We're going to talk about our favorite types of comedy as well as our favorite comedians.
The Humbles of Riders, Humble Marty.
Hello, I'm Humble Marty, and I write things. Today we talk about funny bone ticklers.
There we go.
She's not wrong.
We have the Sixth Ranger, Dark Stranger.
Hello, good morning.
Now, I don't know if the Lady of Valor is going to be with us tonight, but hopefully she'll join us. So where do we even begin? Where do we even start? I mean, shoot, I could talk about how the time my mom introduced me to Richard Pryor, and I couldn't stop laughing out loud. You know, Eddie Murphy and the like, Robin Williams even. Before I even knew his name was Robin Williams.
Hey, it'd be healthy to get some of our comedians who made us laugh out first before we get into like our interpretation of the nature of comedy and its various branches and its effect on society.
Sounds like a
Well,
good
you're
plan.
not wrong. Well, you mentioned Richard Pryor, so you can start. Well, we can all start with the comedians.
Richard Pryor always had my ribs aching after a stand-up. It's mostly it's like he made me laugh the loudest the most when it came down to his stand-ups. I mean, not Killing Softly. That's Dave Chappelle. Another one that always had me in stitches, near stitches. I'm like, if there was one comedian that I know that just, bro, I need to go visit a doctor because I need to get my lungs checked because I'm laughing too much. It was Richard Pryor mostly. Now Richard Pryor had that gift, man. He had that gift, especially yep, the gift of cocaine.
Cocaine is one heck of a drug.
But no, my thing is one of my favorites of his skits was him talking about boxing. Like he man, he had me. He always every single time I got a chance to watch anything of that a boxing skit. That's where my lungs almost collapsed because I could not stop laughing. The sound effects he made to make the punching sounds, especially against the hard bag. The way how he talked about sparring matches or you know sparring matches and getting beat up, the way the sound effects he made for that, the way I talked about a specific boxer, I think it was Joe Frazier thing. No, not Joe Frazier, but oh, help me out here, Don. Who was he talking about before he got to Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier?
It's either Sugar
Sugar
I
Ray,
think it was
probably was Sugar Ray.
yeah, Sugar Ray. Yeah, Sugar Ray.
He was talking about how dumb of a brick he was when he came to, like, he was good at fighting, but he was never good at managing his money. And of course that came with the whole, talking about how bad Whitey is type of talk, which I don't entertain that much these days. I mean, it may be, but there's some truth to it. Of course, there's obviously some truth to it.
Yeah, yeah.
But
However, like it is routine. Like he's not condemning. He's not condemning like whites, like all whites.
because he works with them. We worked with Gene Wilder a few times.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Great
heck,
movies.
I remember like in the live. I remember like watching his the live in concert like multiple times on Netflix. Like you see the live watching him, and they were get having a good time.
I still love the mob boss joke. The fucking kid. The fucking kid. Hey, Jimmy, come over here. Hey, Rich, do the gun again. Hey, look, Jimmy, stick up. You fucking kid.
Didn't he do that gig after the Harlem Nights film where he was doing the gangster stuff?
I think he did.
Yep.
He was kind of he was pretty old that time. Yeah, when he got roasted. Fire!
Oh man, that's one of my favorites.
We're gonna watch you. Wash me. We're gonna watch you. Okay, this is scrub. Wash me. Cheat.
One of my favorite bits like from prior like comedy specials. Like, I was talking back to the live in concert from the late '70s, which is we talked like about the police dogs and chasing down the perpetrators. And when the attack dogs like when the police dogs are going near and goes very fast, and the dog's like, "Ew, man, that's that."
I just love it.
Another good one, like besides the police dog, is his pet monkey. Like that got me in stitches.
Oh, I just swing back to the boxing thing where he's like, they always put me with the people that look like they killed their parents. Just coming in the ring beating up on himself. It's like shit, I ain't gotta do shit. He kicking his own ass. That hand so rough you could strike a match on it.
One scary dish. They're like with these like house. These robbers want to like break into this guy's house, but then when the dog is like, "You can't leave. I want to play." And when the police comes in, and then they find the robbers, and they tell them, "Help me, please help me." And the mother ever sounds like the fly. "Help me, the dog's gonna bite my asshole off. Help me."
In another universe, this would have been made into the movie of John Wick.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh my!
I just love the part once again, swinging back to the boxing. I just love the fact that he's like, and I was doing real good for a while, and I left one of those pings in too long, and he like he was seeing red, and he got real red and brought a fist from Georgia. Whoo! Turn around in Louisiana. Whoo! Wow!
Wow.
You ever had air just leave your body? Just straight leave, just say, "Fuck it!" Oh! He's like, "Oh, you want some air?" Bing! Oh! I had a motherfucker that beat me like a xylophone. Leaving the ring. Some of my favorite jokes is always about boxing and how somebody would how obviously that they're good at it, but they talk about how much they suck at it. Like Martin. Martin's another comedian that I love, but like, bro, after learning that he was a good boxer, like you ain't had no business talking about how bad of a boxer you was. And run tell that. He's like, one thing about Martin, he ain't gonna get hit. And he ain't gonna hit nobody. Because I'll dance all fucking around just to survive. Ding! Good round, Negro. Good round. You gotta get me out of the fight. That motherfucker swinging real hard tonight. You gotta get me out of the fight. You gotta get me out of the fight. Coming, man. Coming, man. Now nobody doesn't know about that skit because that was a deleted scene. If you had the DVD, that was one of the deleted scenes. You feel me?
Yeah.
So no, like I only know about that skit because I had that my mom had that movie, and to find out that he talked about that and it never showed up in the actual skit, I was like, oh, which is funny because that was like the funniest one out of all of his skits in that stand up. To be honest,
Yeah.
that and the whoop your child's ass. All you gotta do is pop and walk up to the car. Oh, hi, officer. Yeah, no, we're just going to do a stroll. Now get your ass in there. You driving, him with the seatbelt, go bang, shut up. Ever disrespect me like that ever again? Oh man. Of course, we can't really talk. You brought up Harlem Nights. Oh, whole cast of comedians there.
Oh
Whole
yeah.
ass cast of comedians there.
Either Ethereal, welcome to the show. Oh, dude. I mean, Harlem Nights, like back then, like people like were harsh because of the story, but similar to what happened to Vampire in Brooklyn, which was done by Wes Craven, like people realized, man, we judge this too harshly. This is actually a good movie.
He's got some problems that I can't really put my finger on right now, but
But overall, like through hindsight, like people are going back and realize of how of an entertaining movie Harlem Nights is. Because yeah, like not only you had like legends like from Eddie Murphy to Red Fox.
well, let's not take over this stream tonight, Don. Let's get our let's get the Stranger Dangers impressions on his favorite comedians. Like what are your favorite comedians, Dark?
My favorite comedians. Yeah. Well, they kind of varied. You know, Carlin had his moments. You know, he was great at times. One
Yeah.
too many fucking HBO specials, but still had some good laughs. Robin Williams. I
hmm
remember some of the Dennis Learys were fucking amazing.
Oh, dude, I love Dennis Leary,
Yes.
including Ricky Gervais, Sam Kinison, Jimmy Carr, and of course Norm Macdonald.
Mm. I never watched any of those except for Sam Kinison because I love Sam Kinison. That guy was just ball of
Yeah,
energy,
right.
and I still
And
stand to this day like
if he was not,
Hang on, Don. Hang on.
he's what Chris Farley failed to be.
I
But
mean, you're not exactly wrong. And if the accident didn't happen, Kinison would have lived longer. And who knows? Like he could have been like Farley's mentor.
eh, maybe not. I mean, Farley was part of the Sandler crowd, and you know, different strokes, different folks, blah blah blah. But aside from that, I love the Priors. Murphy, when I saw the Raw thing, I don't recall if I saw any of his other shows outside of just his movie humor. And of course, let's get out there. I saw the Bill Cosby shows. They had a
So I
good
saw
laugh here and there.
Bill
Yeah.
Cosby himself was one that always come to mind because
hmm
my mom once watched me laugh at that skit like out loud because she's the only one that's not laughing. She's like, this is actually making you laugh. I was like, yes, because I can relate. And it was the one skit that he was talking about his mother and how how she once told him that, I brought you in this world, I'll take you out. And at that time I thought my name was Jesus.
Yeah, I remember like watching those like comedy specials with Cosby. Yeah, and
What
like
makes Cosby so
they still got
unique in
it.
his approach? What made him so unique in his approach? He had that very old man ish kind of storytelling where he's
Yeah.
where if he was telling a story, you can imagine him sitting on his rocking chair telling you the story. But
Hmm.
but you're definitely just Ali Wong. I need to see more of her comedies. She's kind of funny. I've seen a few of her scenes, but I need to see her stand ups kind of from beginning to end. Thank you for bringing that up, Ethereal. I'm aware of Ali Wong. But
Yeah, I'm
go
aware of her too, and
on.
she's not bad. She's not bad like of like the modern comedians.
Hmm.
But I can tell you like she's 100 times like better of a comedian than Schumer.
And what's that bitch name? Sane.
Oh shoot, I should not be blanking on her name. Silver? No, Silver.
Lily Sane.
Thank you. Yes.
Who?
I don't even think she's a comedian at all. I think she's just a bitch that's just
She's a
trying everything.
YouTuber.
Well, yeah. That well, you prove my point there. She's just somebody that's trying to do anything because where she started from. And even then, you can still be funny on YouTube. Look at me when I'm trying to be.
Why? Why does the lady you just described sound like a female version of Johnny Somali?
Guess she is, except with the violence so far.
Though
So far.
he probably hasn't gotten arrested.
Nah, but those YouTube things with celebrities, those were kind of war crimes.
Hmm.
Even though they were shitty celebrities, like the shit with The Rock and all that,
Eh,
ugh, cringe.
the
Oof.
only YouTube thing I'd seen that was kind of funny with the celebrities was that one skit where they had the actors eating different kinds of hot wings.
Oh yeah,
That's
from
the
Hot
only
Ones.
thing they do.
Yes. And yet the best one had to be Daffy Duck.
Yes. Oh, actually, another good one was with Donald.
Oh man. Happy birthday, Donald. Your face gets to match your
Yep.
match your hat.
We don't really like Silverman here in these parts. Ethereal. She kind of tarnished her image over time.
Like
She
she
did that
does
to
with her
herself.
bed.
Well, see, she
See,
used to be.
I'm not making a joke. She said that openly. She's a
She did.
constant bedwetter.
Yes.
And
She
she
did.
fucked Black Spock.
Oh, jeez. Man, you had to bring that up, didn't you?
She fucked Tuvok.
Again, you had to bring it up.
I did not have to bring up. She's likes making that a talking point, and he does not say a word about it. So that says enough.
Touche. Yeah, too bad. Whoopi hasn't been funny in about a decade. And the thing is, she used to be good.
She the only time I liked her, but it was very minimal because a lot of her shtick was just bleh. And she was and where I only found her funny was mostly because of Crystal and Williams during the Def Comedy Jams, and they were pretty much holding that whole show up.
True. Yeah, she was funny like in the Sister Act duology.
Eh.
Whoa.
She was about
Now,
as funny as Rosie O'Donnell, which wasn't funny at all.
now
Rosie
Roseanne,
is so
Roseanne
fat
is more funny.
and
Roseanne is more
terrible.
funny than Rosie.
The one time I found Rosie O'Donnell funny was when she showed off the misprint that was called Breakup Barbie.
Oh yeah, that did happen. Oh, much like Whoopi. Well, would be like she fell from grace and became a leftist.
She became. I don't know how to describe her.
Well, we could take a certain quote from the Boondocks, but I think YouTube will only like it if Wolf says it.
Oh come on! I'm pretty sure like any of us can say it. It's not just Wolf.
Hey, if you like Rosie Ethereal, don't take that. Don't you know? Don't let us take that from you, brother.
Everyone's got niche tastes.
Yeah, we all have different tastes. It's fine. Just don't be blind to when they do something very pretty. Like we talked about Silverman. Silverman, I never watched her stuff. I just know of the very crappy stuff she's done and the
Uh,
very crappy movies she's been in.
Oh yeah,
well, most
like
of. Oh,
like
sorry.
man, what is Silverman? Have you have you ever like grab your agent by the shoulder and tell him or her we need to talk.
You have to
She probably
do. You
did
have to be a
through his
very
pipeline.
special level of. I think people up in that particular area are very forgiving and very tolerant because you have to be a special level of press release crazy to end up getting the privilege of being warned not to do something stupid.
Humble, who are your favorites? Some of them.
Let's see. Far back, the one thing I remembered is I know Robin Williams, a comedian, but my introduction to him was Aladdin.
um, it's
And
fair to say it was most people's gateway to Robin.
and my parents' favorite show for him was Mork from Ork, and then there was him and Jonathan. I haven't seen any Jonathan Winter stuff, but I've heard it like secondhand enough to know he's really good.
There's also Morgan Minji.
Yeah,
Hmm.
though I
Namu
think.
Namu Namu Namu. I mean Nanu, not Namu. Nanu Nanu Nanu.
Did you know there was like probably a few episodes where Jonathan Winters posed as Robin Williams' baby? Apparently, Mark from Orc Species has a Benjamin Button kind of aging.
So he starts off old, and when he gets older, he looks like a baby.
Yes. And the more I hear about this guy, the more I end up thinking this would be funny to have CM Koseman watch and then try to legitimize some type of biology that makes most of the crazy things they do on that show possible.
I see.
Though I don't really pay attention to it. It's like Lizard Brain say, haha, funny, very cute. Let's
Any
see.
more?
Mostly some movies I could think of. There was Miss Congeniality,
Mm.
Ah,
Not even a
and
stand up.
well, there was Jose. Well, in more recent times, I'd watched a few stand-up shows of a guy by the name of Jose Sardui.
oh, I've heard of him.
Jose Sardui. There is Dry Bar Comedy, the Backyard Comedy one with all the conservative comedians. Because at one point they happened to be really funny, but then after you watched all of them, it's kind of like it's like wow, I didn't know that the people that go after them become their comedic material, most of them. But now the other one I could think of that I thought was pretty funny was Count Dankula.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's hilarious.
Yeah, and they were always going on and on about the Nazi pug joke. My favorite one is his Mad Lad series, and he talks about Prince Charles.
Yeah. Well, in his Mad Lad series, like he talks about like a variety of figures throughout history that not many people know.
I think the one series that I'd found, and I agree with him, that one was probably really hard to do, is when he talked about the Anthill Mob.
Penelope pit stop.
Yep. Though the most of my other humor stuff that I got to watch was a bunch of cartoons. Tex Avery, Friz Freeling.
I misinterpret what Ethereal said. He said he's asking Rosie was funny at the time.
No.
Like,
Sorry
to be
about
fair,
that
she was.
earlier. I misread that.
Yeah, I'm glad you caught it.
When
And
she's
gross if you watched Exit to Eden, unfortunately.
Well, I
I
mean,
see.
Rosie wasn't Tarzan as the tomboy Turk, and she wasn't bad in there.
Did you actually watch that fucking movie?
I did most
Nobody
of the
wanted
time.
to see her in BDSM wear.
Yeah,
What?
That movie. Oh, you're talking about that movie? Shit. Mm-mm.
Exit to
Mm-mm.
Eden. I
well,
mostly tuned
Mm-mm.
into that because it said Dan Aykroyd. Oh, Dan
Mm-mm.
Aykroyd! I love
wait,
that
what?
guy in the film.
Rosie in
It's like
Mm-mm.
BDSM
he took
wear?
mostly it's pretty much a
I'd rather see.
crime movie, but it mostly centers on this island where people go either to work or rich people go for play because it's like this BDSM island, tropical island getaway. Think of it like Epstein Island, but not as dirty.
I'd
I
rather I'd
I
rather
can't
watch Della
do
Reese
that.
doing BSM
I'd
than
rather
her.
watch the Futurama episode where everyone was gender bent and they did a version of Professor Farnsworth posing naked for a picture.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
jeez.
I'd
Yeah.
rather go for that one than Rosie in BDSM gear because I'm sorry, it's just a vanilla version of who was that one lady that was supposed to be body positive pop star?
Lizzo.
Lizzo. Yes, it is vanilla Lizzo.
Ew.
Like I said, I'd rather watch Della Reese be a be a be a dom in BSM than her.
Yeah, but like I said, I tuned in that because had Dan Aykroyd, and I like Dan Aykroyd. He was funny. Ghostbusters, Trading
Trading
Places,
places,
Doctor
Mhm.
Detroit, his SNL skits. Those were fun.
Dragnet.
Blues Brothers. And then he's just pretty much a backseat, and Rosie's mostly doing on that angle the lead, and then you got the other two leads. Uh, the only hot chick in that, she was a notable like model and stuff, and you actually got to see things with her. So yeah, because it was kind of borderline adult in some cases. I believe it was regarded. I'm trying to remember.
There is
Who
I
was
don't know, there
that?
was
It
like
was.
one
I know she was bigger for something later on in the '90s. Right, that's right. She did Lois Lane on the DCAU. Dana Delaney.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
She played the mistress of the island.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah. So you got to see prime Dana Delaney in person, BDSM wear and all that.
There was one show I remember that was actually a movie, really. Queen Latifah, and she got teamed up with whoever was supposed to be the serious guy. They just gave them the plot, but they didn't script anything. And somehow it worked.
Hmm.
It was supposed to be this taxi driver who drove a taxi that was basically a hot rod under the hood.
Oh, I seen that movie. Jimmy Kimmel was also in that film as well.
Oh, no wonder it was good.
Yeah, let's see. She's a musician, a rapper. She got some funny bone and an actress.
Also, nice person, if I remember right. It's been
Yeah.
a while since I've seen stuff.
I'm just glad
Yeah.
Lizzo. Hopefully, this is true. I'm so glad Lizzo is making the change to finally lose some fucking weight.
Right.
The joke would be she actually commit to it.
I think if she commits to it, I think it would probably help her out a lot. And I have nothing against her. I just the few times I'd seen of her, they weren't very good first impressions.
No, Ed Harris. Ed Harris, like he's got some good comedic chops. I mean, I've seen him with like Married with Children. Yeah, back in the day.
No way.
I mean, like, hey, of course, like one of his favorite bits, like whenever like he gets into like comedy mode is it's his fat jokes.
Hmm.
But of course, like he's not limited to just that, but like it's one of the aspects of Bundy that people like recognize.
Does anyone remember Bill Engvall?
Have not heard of him.
He was the guy that did the skits. Here's your sign. There was also one other guy who did the. I am so dating myself. It was the movie Grandma Got Ran Over by a Reindeer.
Yeah. I remember him.
I actually got that. I got that movie on DVD.
Grandma got ran over by a reindeer.
There's even a song in there about fruitcake.
Yeah. No, there were a lot of catchy songs like in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And after all these years, it was like it aged well.
I don't know about all that, but it is
Like
kind
I
of
didn't.
It was pretty much cheesy when it first came out too.
Yeah. It embraced the cheese.
The part that definitely aged pretty well was the court case.
Yes.
his cousin had no right to be that hot either.
Mel?
Yeah, I'm just
Oh.
saying. I'm like, bro, how you? I'm like, how is your cousin that hot, but she's so fucking ugly on the inside?
That's actually a very famous trope for a lot of shows where
I know.
yeah,
I know.
sorry. And
That was rhetorical. My bad. That was rhetorical.
No, we got it.
It's like you like your sweet thing, but you're so evil.
Hey, at least hey, look, in the end, she got her comeuppance.
Plus, Grandma proved that Ayase Seiko ain't the only grandma that's like in her fucking 50s and looking fucking hot. Y'all know who I'm talking about. That's
Dun,
good.
dun, dun,
Dun da da dun 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 da.
Oh boy, those two in the
It's a
same room. Those two in the same. Yeah, Bill Engvall, here's your sign. Yep.
no, it is it's a fun manga series, and the studio still responsible for its anime adaptation is doing a killer job, much like with Trigger and Delicious in Dungeon.
Oh, the
Hey,
guy doing the anime
hey,
series is a huge movie buff.
I ain't finished the anime. I need to
Well,
read the manga.
actually, you wouldn't have to spoil it for this one. Lots of scenes from the intro are actually different animated different parts of his favorite music videos.
Ah,
Hmm.
but surprised we haven't talked about Jim Carrey, or at least mention him a bit.
Sure. Yeah, Carrie. Man, of course, so similar with Aladdin with Robert Williams, the mask. That's like introduced like everybody, especially kids, to Jim Carrey.
Not me.
Really? I watched him in the Deadpool.
I I saw it in well, I was one of the many kids that saw the cartoon.
I saw a cartoon, but my introduction was Pet Detective.
Okay, that's fair. All right, that's fair. Pet Ace Ventura introduced people and kids to Jim Carrey before the mask.
Especially
Mm,
the commercials.
Deadpool came first.
We know, motherfucker.
And no, Clint Eastwood did not kill Jim Carrey, though that would have been fun. Dirty Harry killing Jim Carrey would have been fun.
Oh, the part I liked was when they did a crossover between the two.
I mean,
Oh,
you gotta
well,
give it
yeah, that's
to
true.
them. Robert Williams was not the only person, though he was never the only person to begin with. Period. That's still hand over to uh what's his name, Charlie Chaplin. But like, what I'm getting at is Jim Carrey is a living cartoon character.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
He is a
Well, if you
complete
ask me,
living
he's a
cartoon
spiritual
character.
successor to Chaplin.
He
In
could,
other words, they're both assholes.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, there was also Jeff Foxworthy.
What
Well,
I'm getting at
yeah.
with Jim Carrey is the fact that this man moves like he has elongated legs, elongated arms. His body contorts in such a way that you know, I don't think he's a contortionist, but he might as well be a contortionist. He's got so much energy inside him. You don't know whether or not he's going to get tired or not. You can't tell if he's going to get tired or not.
Hmm. Plus,
Which is why
and
he
plus
probably
his
should have
face,
been Pennywise.
Oh,
right?
it's
Yep. Plus his face is really elastic.
sorry, sorry. Weebs. Why, thank you. Because of the 20 references to.
Well, actually, I will say, it's just on a side note. It's thanks to Robert Williams' genie of Aladdin. Well, it's thanks to him. Like I was introduced to Rodney Dangerfield.
Huh.
I knew about Rodney Dangerfield through Caddyshack.
Yeah, well, that's what happened. Well, no, no. I take that back. As a kid, I watched Caddyshack, but at that time I didn't know it was R rated.
Oh, so doubly so. I mean, this man had no filter throughout that whole damn movie. It was glorious. We need, something in the age of elites that really just really trying to be these so-called what you would call them, right? The you know
What?
they have these parties, right?
Yeah.
We need a Rodney Dangerfield to storm in there and just straight up just relentlessly roast them.
Hey, everybody, I'm getting laid.
Oh, I remember the commercial slogan for that one. It was the slobs versus the snobs.
I can't believe it. I'm losing to a rug.
And if I remember right, that guy also, who was the, let's see, Harold Ramis, Brian Doug Murray,
You mean Bill Murray?
Bill Murray. If I remember right, he also ended up being the protagonist of an animated series where he got to voice a basset hound.
Yes. Yeah. Also,
I hear this
I don't know,
place is
so
restricted,
he's
Wayne, so don't tell him you're Jewish, okay?
yeah, I remember that one. Well, that's in that same like animated movie, like we provide for the speaking voice. He also sang for that movie as well.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be obsessed
I'd
with
never
desires,
do it
Daniel.
on a
It's
Christmas
Wait, shit,
tree.
wrong character. Oh, this is the worst looking hat I ever saw. Well, when you buy a hat like this, I bet you get a free bowl of soup, huh?
Talking about
Oh, it looks
Rover?
good on you though.
Yes.
Rover. Was Dangerfield voicing the dog
Yeah,
from
he
Yes.
Vegas?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is your wife, huh? Lovely lady. Hey, baby, you must have been something before electricity.
Even in death, that like people still talk about Dangerfield and continue to be inspired by him.
We need to do a remembering Ronnie Dangerfield one day. I did ask like anybody to talk about somebody who's past dead that we could talk about in the remembering series that we've already started.
Yeah, and well, actually, his birthday is November 22nd, and well, he died at 82 in 2004. So yeah, well, might as well like do that for him on his birthday.
Hey, loosen up, will you? You're a lot of woman, you know that? Yeah, want to make $14 the hard way?
Oh, that's another good one.
I almost got hit from Amelia Earhart. The way how he makes his eyes just bulge out and
Yes.
bulge out within timing of the line too, especially at the last line. He just bulge out, and they're constantly just bulging out. But like the way how he just bulges them out in the timing of some of the jokes just has me cracking up.
And in a way, like Carrie, he's also he was also a living cartoon. Yeah, much like Chaplin before them. Although Chaplin, he wasn't a complete a-hole like Carrie.
You should redo your history on that one.
It's been a while.
We ain't gonna discuss that right now.
I remember there was one guy that did his own stunts.
Which one?
Comedian from the 1920s.
Keaton, Buster Keaton.
Buster Keaton.
Yeah, Buster. Oh, dude, Buster Keaton. That's another oldie but goodie.
That dude was a fucking daredevil. The earliest daredevils I've ever known.
Right?
Evil Knievel.
Although did Knievel like ever say like he was inspired by him?
No,
Not really.
it's not inspired by, but
If Evil Knievel was inspired by Buster Keaton, we'd have a whole different kind of Evil Knievel.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, there was like one other guy I remember
True.
there. Let's see, it was
you will never be a member of Bushwood. A member? You think I actually want to join this scamatorium? The only reason I'm here is because I might bite.
Who was the dynamic duo that one was the fat guy, one was the
Laurel and
skinny
Hardy.
guy? Laurel and Hardy, yes. I got introduced to them through the Scooby-Doo series. And Don Knotts.
Oh, snap. The lovely day of our Leia plus size.
Hi, Leia.
Hello.
How was the shower?
Oh, God.
I am not. Good evening to you too, Don. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. I just
I'm
meant a simple
Dom
thing.
now. Hello.
I mean, dark. Oh goodness. I meant Dom
There's your
also.
best Rodney Dangerfield impression there.
I mean, Dom. I was wondering. I was about to send a message. I'm in. I'm in the back room. I'm back here.
You must have
So,
popped
I'm
in
back
when I
here.
I'm
stepped
right.
away for a cool bit.
Hmm.
I said you might have popped in when I stepped away for a cool bit.
No, you were talking. You were. Yeah, maybe you did, but I was waiting, and you were talking. You talk about Lauren Hardy and Rodney Dangerfield and
Well, tell us about
all
your
these
favorite
characters.
comedians, because I led off with Richard Pryor. We lit we followed up with shitting on Rosie O'Donnell, Whoopi Goldberg. We backed Bill Cosby, and
And all
we briefly
them
mentioned Martin.
quaaludes in the
Huh?
pudding. Just
I
the
will
quaaludes in the
take
pudding.
my pudding
Oh,
and
Don.
lather it on some nice chocolate cake.
That's a fun. Is that your Bill Cosby?
Yeah.
And he's
Oh,
talking about the cake with the breakfast cake thing, and then the wife comes up. Why are they eating chocolate cake?
My mom once told me that, if you ever get out of line, I brought you to this world and I could take you out. And by that time, I thought I was Jesus.
My
Because she
my
took me out,
favorite
she brought me into this world and she could take me out. What'd
my
you say,
favorite
Yamba?
my favorite Cosby story was his visit to the dentist. Oh look, a rainbow.
I came introduced to Cosby through Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids.
Mm.
That's how I got introduced to him through animation, and then some of his live comedy albums that my parents had. But I've got to be honest, I came through the Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids, one of my favorite Saturday morning cartoons that that I love to watch. But if you ask me about my favorite comedians, okay, you already mentioned hello Dom. You already mentioned Richard Pryor. But to me, it would be Eddie Murphy. Has always been, when I mention a comedian, I'm talking about somebody who absolutely has me gut busting laughing, cracking up, rolling over the floor laughing. And Eddie Murphy has always been at tops for me, from Saturday Night Live through Beverly Hills Cop, through Harlem Nights, through The Nutty Professor, which I think is his crowning achievement. Eddie Murphy never failed to make me laugh. I don't know if you guys could have ever watched some of his early brilliance on Saturday Night Live, but oh boy, me and my sister and all our school friends used to look forward to Saturday Night Live back in the day because we had to see what Eddie Murphy was going to do, and we never stopped laughing.
The homeless kid, where he paint himself white to act like a white guy. All that.
Yes,
Yeah, that was great
Yes.
stuff.
yes, if White, his take on Mr. Robertson's Neighborhood is it's always been one of my favorite skits from
I don't
him.
know what's mean, Mr. Rogers. You call him Mr. Roberts.
Oh, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, but and when Eddie Murphy did a parody of it, he called it Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood. I think is
That
what.
that's
And he was
oh, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that was his
And
take on it.
yeah,
That
but like
whole
back then, like I don't mean like not like the makeup, like in the costume, you would automatically forget that that's actually Eddie Murphy like underneath it.
yeah, that's his brilliance. Yeah, that was his brilliance, and it showed really in The Nutty Professor. Which is one of my all-time favorite comedies. Because I'm going to be honest, guys, since we're talking about comedy, I don't watch too many comedies these days. Not because I don't like to laugh. It's just that some of them are
They're hit
just
or miss.
not. Yeah, that's harder to me. If I find one and it totally cracks me up, I'll say so. And then there's been some that people think are classic comedies, and I'm like, yeah, they're okay. But Nutty
You
Professor
can
to me
hear
is
that?
a crowning achievement to me. I every time I watch it, because I have it on physical media, but every time I watch it, I never
What
fail
the
to laugh
fuck
again.
is you doing?
Yeah, and as a kid, I remember when I first watched The Nutty Professor, which also led me to watch the original with Jerry
Holy
Lewis.
shit! That's how you get
Like
that effect.
in the opening scene, I genuinely thought that was Lance Perkins and not Eddie Murphy. Murphy like acting as Perkins.
Right. That's his imitation of Richard Simmons. But
No,
really,
sorry, right, Richard Simmons. I meant to say Richard
yeah.
Simmons.
But
So I was reacting to this artist and how he inked blood onto a picture with Copic markers. This buffalo was smearing the damn ink all over the picture to get that smeared blood effect. I was like, holy shit! You could do that? With what
Yeah,
paper?
yeah. No, you can do that, but to get back on track. And like back then, like not just Eddie Murphy, but a lot of comedians like back then, like men and women alike, like they were known like to play as different ethnicities.
Oh yeah, they did. And just to say one quick, and then I move on from the professor. He got so lost in all this, even playing all the clumps. I forgot that was Eddie Murphy playing all those characters. I thought it was a crowning achievement. It
Oh, come
really
on,
was.
kids. You're gonna come over here. You're gonna limp, but you're limping back over there. You're coming back over here, but you're limping.
Not like, oh, come on, Cletus, come over here,
I,
come on, here, come on.
I
Yep,
never,
once again, you're gonna limp back.
Hercules.
Hercules. Shove it.
Yes.
This some scary shit.
Yes.
What are you
No,
gonna say,
but
Humble? You're fixing to
Grandma
say
Club, she remains a
Hang on,
favorite
hang on.
of mine.
the thing I remembered was the Richard Simmons and the fart joke.
Richard Simmons. You get mighty. You're doing it. You gotta say
Which
it
fart
right
joke?
now.
The
Repeat it
dinner
after me.
fart joke or the dream fart joke?
The dinner one.
Mm.
Oh yeah. Did somebody call my name? Yeah, I know what your name is. And your name is.
I mean, you look at that one, and you would never see the that one
you go
part
again,
in
bumping up all that
Inuyasha the same
gas
way
in
ever
front of this
again when
pretty
Takome
nice
decided
lady.
to make a flamethrower with hairspray and a lighter.
There you go, bumping up all that gas in front of this cute lady. Back when Jed Pick was actually not so intolerable.
Yes, I agree. It's
In,
sad.
in other words, she wasn't an a-hole.
Right. I
Or
agree.
maybe she was since jump, and we just didn't. We just at this point, the internet is really showing everybody their true colors.
Yeah. Although Tupac dodged a bullet.
Did he
Yes.
though? Because
Oh.
she keeping him alive in her memory.
I thought you were making a pun, Wolf, about dodging bullets. Sorry, I took it the wrong way.
No, that's dumb. That's Dark's. That's Dark's job. He's more good at that than I am.
Oh, okay.
I'm a bit too
Jesus
small and picky for
Christ.
that.
That looks scrumptious. It's a long 12-foot chili dog.
What the
Girl, you gonna be farting tonight?
Oh my Lord. have mercy.
Now,
I'm doom scrolling Instagram right now. I'm seeing some weird shit.
Oh.
well, while you're doing that, a rather criminally
Look, bro. That thing caught my eye. Where is that at? Is that Disney World? Is that Disney?
what?
Bro.
Hey, come on, man.
Oh, it's Universal Studios. Oh, I'm fucking. Oh, man. I'm
Probably
going
the
over
Epic
there.
Universe stuff.
Hey, come on, man. Man, like, come back to the tracks.
No, that motherfucker. Man, I gotta get a group to finish this shit. Jesus.
Oh my Lord. What?
That's a long ass chili dog, and it's at Universal. Bro, I'm going to Universal Studios. Fuck Disney.
Hey, man, focus.
Another one of my favorite.
Bro, there's two things I like: hot dogs and chili. Jesus.
You must be
No.
hungry. Have you had dinner yet?
I've had dinner. I'm just, when I see food, I'm just like, bro, I want to taste that. That's what I'm telling you. You cannot have no cooking network near me. You cannot watch anything cooking. I can't watch Food Wars anymore. I barely survived Monster Hunter with their fucking cooking simulations.
I'm
It's like,
surprised you didn't watch Delicious in Dungeon.
oh no, I can't do dungeon mission either. Mm-mm,
Oh,
mm-mm.
come on, man.
Bro, I barely get through Bite the Bullet, and that game is all about eating stuff to get
And
powerful.
then he'll lose himself with the kitty titties. And by kitty titties, I don't mean children. I mean cat girl.
Is that Miley Cyrus, your crab?
And I'm more a fan of cooking it with a campfire in another
thing.
world.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Actually, I remember reading that series. But anyway, kid, come on. Focus, people.
I was going to mention, has anyone mentioned Steve Martin? That's another
No.
comedian.
Not yet.
Oh,
Not yet,
okay.
but I actually I want to bring before we even touch on like Steve Martin and also his frequent collaborator and friend, really a criminally underrated comedian that unfortunately like didn't get a chance to shine because like he died before the release of A Low Down Dirty Shame with Keenan Ivory Wayans, Corin Hawkins.
Mm. Don't know who that is.
What character did he play in A Low Down Dirty Shame?
He played Wayman Harrington, Peach's friend.
Oh,
Yeah, Peach's friend from the movie who happens to be gay and a cross.
Oh, that guy.
I didn't know he passed away. Wow. And you know that, Dom? I did not know. I was watching it the other night. I didn't know that. Yeah, the one that was Peach's gay roommate. I did not know he had passed away. Oh. He was funny in that. That's back in the time.
Yeah, it was. And I recall when I watched like him like on Def Comedy Jam, like he was killing it.
I can see. See, that's back in the time.
I watched that movie because of who also plays next to Keenan.
Jada.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not just just Jada, but also Charles S. Dutton as Sonny, and of course like Andrew Divoff, who you all like in the audience, I recognize him as the Wishmaster.
Mm-hmm. I watch it if she wasn't in that movie. If it was maybe say Tyra Banks, she's less annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Robin Good or Robin Gibbons. Is that what her name was?
Yeah. When I first watched, because I do like the movie, but I understand where you are coming from.
She was in that movie. She was the bad girl, right? No, that was
somebody
else.
That was
No. Oh, you talk about Angela, right?
Yeah. What are you gonna say, Leia?
I understand where you're coming from. When I first looked at them, it is one of my all-time favorite comedic movies. I was watching it the other day because I hadn't seen it in a while. But but it's sad now. It is hard to watch it knowing what kind of woman Jada really is, and that's sad. I think that's sad, and I think a lot of it comes from their social media presence. It's really killed the movie star. A lot of people say that it's
more
a
than
cliche
social
statement.
media. I mean, it takes some kind of a special bitch wanting to screw the best friend of your own son.
And
yeah.
really,
and like A Low Down Dirty Shame, it wasn't just a comedy; it was an action comedy, which like Keenan like wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Also, Angela, she was played by Sally Richardson.
Yes,
Right.
yeah, that's who played Angela. Yeah, I like. Yeah, well, yeah, he did, but I liked it when I first saw it. It's one of my favorite comedies I put in from time to time to watch, and it does make me laugh. But it is hard, like dark, and also to humiliate your husband the way she did. When you do that, you don't have much care for yourself when you do.
Well, speaking of Keenan, yeah, let's get into the Wayans brothers real fast and their catalog of history of comedy.
Oh yeah,
So you make Game Peel. Okay.
No, it's all about the Wayans.
We're brothers. We're happy and we sing it and we color. Give me a high five.
Not all of the Wayans are funny, but I did watch the show,
Which
Sean
one?
and Marlon. I never found Damon very funny, in my opinion.
Not even My Wife and Kids.
Not even My Wife and Kids. I thought it was so. I've got to tell
Wow.
the truth. It's
It's
not
okay.
bad, but it's
It's
not
okay.
funny either. I've
Not
never
even Major
felt
Pain.
it's okay.
So what she's saying
Major
in
Pain is
short
okay.
is that Shorty came up short for her.
Major Pain is just okay.
Wow.
Yes,
Bleep bleep.
sorry.
What you
And
looking at, ass eyes? That didn't make you laugh?
it hasn't aged well, Wolf. I'm sorry. It's not
Really?
on my.
What about Blank Man?
I'm sorry.
Woo!
It's okay. It's
She
okay.
doesn't. She doesn't find me funny. She ain't gonna laugh at my jokes no more.
No, well, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's good. It hasn't aged well. I'm sorry. He's okay when he's kind of a supporting funny guy, but when he's the lead funny guy, I don't laugh too much with him. Marlon is the one that cracks me up the most because he just goes out of his way to get the laugh, and I gotta give him credit for that. He really goes out there to get the laugh. I did like their show. I watched their show too, but
Boy,
Marlon
I'm
was the
2
one that
seconds
cracked
from
me up.
being on you like wild rice in a glass of milk on paper plate in a sandstorm. I'm gonna put my foot so far up your ass, the water in my knee will quench your thirst.
Sean was just sexy. I'm sorry, Sean was hot. He was funny, but he was hot. Sean went. Oh, he was a sexy guy. I cannot deny that's one of the reasons I really watch Wade Brothers because
Maybe what he
Marlon was
needs
funny.
is for you to
Sean was
pop
hot.
your titty out of his mouth and let the boy grow up. Excuse me, what did you say? I didn't stutter. I said pop your titty out of his mouth and stop babying him.
Oh my lord! Well, I didn't mean to bring the stream down, but I just felt Damon.
No,
just,
No, you're
no,
not.
oh, okay.
At your expense.
We already
Whoa,
talked about
whoa.
Amy Schumer, so what's one more bad comedian to talk about?
Okay.
Anyways, it's not
Well-
really bad to be. It's just, but Leia has her favorites among the boys. That's why she can raise them. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my god.
So
Oh
how
my-
many
oh,
of
you-
them go shirtless?
Oh, dark.
Marlon
Marlon.
That explains
and
it.
Sean.
Yep,
Yeah.
and she liked them, so that explains it.
Especially
Mhm.
Marlon's ass and don't be a menace. All right, motherfucker, let's get it on. Oh, Negro, you ain't going nowhere.
That is one of my favorite movies from them. That I think that movie still holds up. I'm sorry. It still holds up because they did a great job parodying all the hood movies we had.
Happy
Of course, that
birthday,
stuff just slipped through.
homie.
Mhm. Well, also they actually use those hood movies to tell a story. So like besides by like making those callbacks like to those classic hood movies.
Yeah,
Mental Society, Higher Learning, Boys in the Hood.
Yeah, Boys in the Hood. You know, everybody talks about, well, how Hollywood, was cashing in on the superhero genre. The hood movies of the 90s were everywhere. Everybody was making a hood movie. After Boys in the Hood, yeah, everybody was making a hood movie. Like every week there was a hood movie coming out. So
Nonsense to have the better ones though.
yeah, that's what I mean. There were some that were very good, and then there were some that the studio was just cashing in on. Black people like hood movies. We've got to make more of them. And then they started making some bad ones. But I think Don't Be a Menace About Drinking Juice in the Hood is a comedy I think that is endured. it has endured.
Yes.
Oh, somebody asked why Pastor gotta have a nice pretty car, or why does the pastor have a nice house? I say don't ask. I say don't ask. I say don't ask. No question, just get the money.
Oh man. I mean, one of these days, we should do a retrospective like on the Wayans.
Now some of you women, especially Leia, You get
Oh, good
sometimes you
Lord.
get hot
Just
and bothered. And that time when you get hot and bothered, I want you to call me. Don't ask no questions.
well, as much as we want to continue like talking about the Wayans, so let's transition to Steve Martin and Martin Short.
oh yeah. I had mentioned Steve Martin is one of my all-time favorite comedians. I still think The Jerk is a classic film, and I do like it when he's paired with Martin Short. They are a good comedy duo.
And Chevy Chase is a nice buffer out.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
I actually
The Three
I recently
Amigos.
yeah
yes,
that's why you mentioned it because I recently rewatched The Three Amigos and it holds up.
I
yes,
have
it
not watched the
does.
Three Amigos, even though it was on Disney Channel for a time.
Yeah, that's true.
I
That's
just
actually
never
how I was
grabbed it as
introduced.
a kid.
But that's how I was introduced to the three. Just do the Three Amigos was through Disney Channel, just like how it introduced me to the Back to the Future trilogy.
No, I think Three Amigos didn't really grab me that much. What's up, Hate?
That's okay. Just like
Not
I
as a
said,
kid. It's like
that's
it was almost one ear, basically one ear in one ear out the other at times. And I was looking up to see if it was done because the movie I wanted to see was next afterwards. So I was like,
Huh.
Oh,
probably not my cup of tea.
look, do yourself a favor and watch the Three Amigos when you have the chance.
One I need to probably look back to is the buddy cop movie Dragnet.
Mm.
I actually mentioned Dragnet earlier.
Oh, cool.
the
Yeah,
one with
no,
Tom
What you
Hanks and Dan
didn't
Aykroyd.
mention is, oh, go on, Leia.
No, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just said, do you want to mean the Dragnet with Tom Hanks and Dan Aykroyd?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's actually after I watched that movie years ago. When I started like watching the original TV show.
Hmm.
Yeah, I liked the movie. The movie was funny. Yeah, that was, and a lot of it was Dan Aykroyd. I don't know if we mentioned Dan Aykroyd, but Dan Aykroyd has done is he's a classic comedian because his films are funny, and that includes the Blues Brothers, which is my parents' favorite. They loved that one with him and John Belushi. And my mom was a big John Belushi fan because my mom told me how heartbroken she was when he died. She said, I was so sad to hear that because they found, particularly my parents, they loved Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi. And they loved it when they were the Blues Brothers, which,
Mhm.
uh, and because she said, when John, I said, because I was young when John Belushi died. And she said, oh, it just broke my heart when he died because I wanted more comedy from him. They were John Belushi fans.
Yeah,
My,
he was
my
gone too soon.
yeah, my
Yes.
my folks' favorite comedian right now is Jeff Dunham.
Mm.
Hmm.
Hey,
Jeff Dillman is actually pretty funny, especially
yeah,
with he just needed to do a way. He has to practice his voice a bit sometimes because the more you hear how they all talk, I don't know if it's an accent or not. His accents tend to slip up, especially when he does minority characters. Like you can
Hmm.
excuse me.
Yeah, you can kind of hear it.
yeah.
There's barely any differentiating either as well. So like it,
I did like his one story of his chihuahua catapulting itself with a stick.
hmm
Let's see, who do we not? And don't forget, did you guys? I mentioned Dan Aykroyd, but we cannot leave out the Ghostbusters, the original Ghostbusters. All time favorite comedy. Still my favorite. The original one still holds up with Murray, Aykroyd,
Ramus,
and
Hudson,
Ramis and Hudson. Yeah. Uh-huh.
of course, let's not forget Rick Moranis before he retired.
Right.
Oh yeah,
Everybody in that movie was funny. Yes. And don't forget Rick Moranis. Ghostbusters is a classic comedy, and it still holds up to this day. It's on my list again. Anything I hold on physical media means I really love the films, and I still hold it to this day. And Yeah, you got Bill Murray and you got Dan Aykroyd, you got Ramis, and you've got Rick Moranis. Everybody's funny in it, and the film has such funny moments. So Ernie Hudson will
Ernest
come in
was
there.
okay, but some of his best things was uh pretty much probably his most funniest was Spaceballs.
Yes,
Yes.
I agree with you.
Mhm.
Yes,
I liked them in Little Shop of Horrors,
Yeah, that too.
especially
yes,
his
that's
singing voice.
No. Yeah. Yeah. You can't help but notice like as you like research like each different comedian, you realize like he or she like are capable singers.
oh yeah. Tracy Ullman is one I think of. Which leads me to believe, did we mention any British comedy? Because the British are known for their
I
sense of humor.
I mentioned Jimmy Carr.
Dry humor, but it
Okay.
hits sometimes. Monty
Yeah.
Python.
Yeah.
Oh
Eddie
yeah, of
Izzard
course.
used
The
to
Monty
be
Python
funny,
troupe.
but then he kind of became meh.
Well, which one?
I just said Eddie Izzard.
Oh,
Oh
you're
yeah. Okay.
right. Eddie
Yeah.
Izzard. Yeah.
Right.
My
Yeah.
Right.
favorite Monty Python skit is definitely the biggest dickus.
Yeah,
I'm
but
a
My
lumberjack, and that's okay.
but yeah, well,
that was Monty.
earlier I mentioned Jimmy Carr as well as Ricky Gervais.
You're right. The Monty Python is what got me introduced to British comedy was through Monty Python. Yeah, and yeah, Ricky
Not
Gervais. Yeah, that's how I got introduced into British through their troops. And the lumberjack
not
song was
the
the first one I thought to think about. Dark was that.
not the same thing happened to me. Like Monty Python introduced me to British comedy as well.
My
Yes.
intro to British comedy was Mrs. Bouquet,
Oh, that's a
otherwise
classic.
known as Mrs. Bucket.
And can't forget Rowan Atkinson as Mr. Bean or
Mm,
Black Adder.
Yes, Mr. Bean was another one
Mm-hmm.
I really liked.
I forget which BBC show was the one that they did of uh, the Asian interpreter having to say which was Romeo and Juliet, and they're like, "Who's Juliet?" And she's like, "The pretty one. She's pretty, and she even does the pose."
I'm not familiar with that one or who that is.
Mr. Boombastic.
It was off of a
Shaggy.
PBS station.
Okay,
She
but
call me Mr.
The
Boombastic.
British
Thank
have
you,
always
fantastic. That's when you me best. She says I'm Mr. Romantic. Take you, fantastic. That's when you me best. She says I'm Mr. Boom 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 Boombastic.
well, they say in Hollywood the British have always been tops with comedy, and I do have to believe that because when they do a film or TV show, they never fail to win awards, which they rather deserve, and some of the comedic writers. So I can see why, because we just for some of those that we mentioned, some comedians. I do like British humor. I have
Mm-hmm.
to be honest about it. I am a fan of British humor if it's done right. I'm trying to think of
Like,
anybody else that I missed, but I think you all mentioned some of the
like
classic.
actually, none of us have yet mentioned like Sinbad or get Gabriel Iglesias.
Yes, yeah, they're funny too. Somebody, Dark, did you guys talk about? Did you mention Key and Peele?
Yeah, I brought him up as a joke, but
No,
you can talk about him if you want. I never
I like
found
them.
them funny too much.
Okay, no, that's fair. That's fair. It's okay. Everybody has a different take on comedy, but
Well,
I've always found them funny.
Their
I'm not
gullible prison guard was pretty good.
Yeah, that's funny. When they did the different characters, the college football players was funny.
Or the substitute
And
teacher.
yes, that's always funny. Yes, and the valet guys was always hilarious. That was always hilarious. But it's okay. Everybody's different. But I cannot tell you that I never enjoyed watching their show. They did some really fun, and I like the fact they made fun of everybody, black people, the LBGTQ plus
Just the gays.
And
gays.
Jordan
Okay,
Peele
yeah.
was probably better off in that zone instead of his attempts at being the master of horror.
Yeah.
Black one,
Yeah,
right.
I agree with you on that one.
The
I
one
agree.
Tries too hard.
there's like one I really thought was funny, which was Studio C's Crayon song.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, where's that one from? Humble.
It is from the comedic team Studio C, and everyone's dressed up as a crayon, and it's like and let's just say the black crayon is the one that tries to ruin everyone's day, and the other crayons are trying to sing their colors out loud. And the only one that I should not try and do that whole skit. I would actually probably get the whole stream taken down.
No, do that skit.
Oh no.
Yeah, do it.
Okay. I've never heard of it. It's new to me.
Really?
Yeah, I've got to be honest. I'm getting older. I'm out of the loop on a lot of things. But I don't remember that. Is it a comedy troupe or a show or a song?
It's a troupe,
Okay.
and they sang about the colors, and it was made to be like a kids show, except the black crayon decides to try and ruins everyone's verse, except for maybe white crayon, who does have the pointy hat. The brown one. And he got mad because he was the black guy that got to play the brown crayon. And there was one that black crayon absolutely loved because his line was already depressing. And the scene was like from 9 years ago. Wonderful show's imaginary fun learning Emporium Palooza extravaganza hour gets ruined by an unhappy crayon.
Yeah, so it's always the Debbie Downers, isn't it?
Yeah, but in this case, the Debbie Downer was actually funny.
Touche.
Okay.
So, a couple nobody's mentioned, since we're just talking about this randomly. And it's kind of getting a bit of spotlight on his career of films with this latest revival or reboot, sequel, whatever. But Leslie Nielsen and the Naked Guns and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Liam Neeson is taking over the role. Am I? I think I'm.
Yeah,
correct.
as Drebin
Yeah.
Jr., his son.
Did everybody?
and you know, what some people I tend to forget with Leslie is like he didn't start out as a comedic actor. Right? Like he started out in dramas.
Now, will you see Lisa Marie Presley, though? I do not know.
That's a good question.
Well, you're right, Dom. He did not start off as a comedic actor. He started off as a dramatic actor, and then the police, this police show come around. Frank Drebin came around, and it just hit. So I assume all you've seen the teaser for the movie. So I was going to ask, does the teaser trailer make you interested? Do you think it's going to be funny? Okay, I'm just curious. It was a good teaser.
Seth MacFarlane humor, so it's more raunchy style, but I don't know, it might be good. I liked his Orville stuff. It wasn't perfect. It had some stinkers, but overall it was mostly a solid show you could watch through. And his humor sometimes hits, sometimes not.
Yeah. Yep. Not with McFarlane. Like he with his comedy. Yeah, like there are some stinkers, but most of the time he goes after everyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, it could be good.
I gotta be honest.
Probably interesting.
I mean, I got to be honest. When it got to the picture on OJ, I was sitting there wondering, now how are they going to handle that? That did get a laugh out of me because I was wondering, okay, how are they going to handle that?
Uh,
And that's going to be the funny part. So that's why I was asking. Now, the Naked Gun movies are funny. I didn't go to the theater to see them because I wasn't that interested in them. I saw them when they came, to cable television. Do you think this revival will be successful?
Also, well, like it will honor well, like the original movies, including Leslie Nielsen. May he rest in peace.
Right. I
Uh, it it's hard to say. I mean, you got people pretty much throwing money to this stupid Minecraft movie, and apparently going by 2 days ago,
Ew.
even stabbing each other over it. So,
the
okay.
Minecraft movie did have some. Okay, I will admit I'd seen some clips. The Jack Black lava chicken song is pretty funny.
Mm,
Jack Black Earth. I don't understand why the movie is making everybody act like they're animals. It's not that I don't want kids to have fun. I get it. Back in the day, we had our things too, but I just feel like there's some decorum in a movie theater, and they're just because the movie theater is shared by other people, and just for them to just get loud and I mean, people bringing in live chickens and throwing their shoes and clothes and food at the
Uh,
movie just means a little bit out of control to me. I don't know, guys. Why are they
I
acting like this?
I did not know about the live chicken thing, but
They
that
did.
does okay, yeah. I think that's probably a new thing for that particular fandom part of the movie.
Okay.
And it's basically Jumanji.
But I remember people acting this crazy when they saw Jumanji. Am I wrong?
What are we talking about?
There was some people that did act quite interesting when they had the Saskatchewan chicken sauce for Rick and Morty special. And of course, that was when they decided to do the whole let's act like a jerk in line thing. Part of it is I don't know. It's kind of like it's kind of like that part of part of the person that would wear a superhero costume for a week straight without washing it.
Oh God. I suppose so. I suppose so,
It
humble.
can
Well,
come from that particular area of thinking.
if I was just asking, why are they going so crazy in the Minecraft showings? I just don't understand what is causing. And there is a video, humble. If I ever find it, I will post it to you. There is a video of a man at one of the showings who brought a live chick. I don't know how he got it in there. I guess the movie theater said, "Go ahead, do whatever you want." But
Uh,
he brought a live chicken to the movie. And when the movie did whatever that line is, he threw the chicken at the movie screen, and the chicken was flying all over the place.
poor
There is such a
chicken.
video. Yes, poor chicken.
Especially when the only way to sneak it in there is to stick it in your coat and hold it like a football.
But when the chicken make a noise, or you notice, hey, that
I
that
don't know. That Colorado
Depends on the
shooter was
chicken.
able to get
If
it done
they're
in the
calmed
theater.
down,
Anything's
they will
possible.
tolerate a lot.
I hate to make light of a tragic event, but you know,
I understand.
you,
But
we're at the point where our security it used to be tighter than this, not so much now.
why? I agree. But people, or if anybody is still left in our chat, why are they go? I don't understand them acting like a college frat club at the movie for this film. I get it. You're excited and you love it and you want to quote the characters. I have no problem with that. But I just don't get the wild behavior, throwing popcorn and candy and pop and your shoes and I just don't get what about this movie makes them do that. So if anybody can explain it to me, I'm all open. Other
I
than
don't
that,
know what made Barbie the movie compel the women to either divorce or break up with their husbands and boyfriends.
no, don't get
I
me started
go,
on that.
I go with the old razor. Sometimes wild behavior is just that, wild behavior.
I don't know what compelled people to try BSM after 50 Shades of Grey.
Because they thought what was on the movie looked cool and they tried out, kind of like the one kid got to see in elementary school decided Superman looked cool flying, I'm going to go fly, and he at least made sure he was jumping off the risers and onto the big mat that we used when practicing rope climb.
I
A
don't
far
know.
cry from the a far cry from the Arthur episode with those two brat kids that decided to emulate Power Rangers, or at least what was their version of Power Rangers, against the quote unquote evil narwhals.
I don't know what compelled
That's a
women
whole different story for another.
to
People
abuse their
just lack a good
husbands.
filter.
I don't know what compels women to abuse their husbands after watching Twilight all the damn time, both emotionally, phically, and mentally,
You
because
sure it was
they're
Twilight? I
not
thought that
able.
was The View.
That too.
Uh, on a lighter note, if anyone had seen Ray Stevens' movie The Streak, it had a old vending machine that still had the bottle opener connected to it.
Hmm. Yeah, when you could just buy it with a bottle and you just and like drink away. Good times.
Indeed.
Though the part I
There was
liked
one
was
movie that I liked that was a dark comedy, and that was called Teeth.
Hmm. Vagina dentata.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, this movie might as well have been directed by fucking uh Tim Burton. Because the way how they shot the movie and the way how the style looked, it might as well have been a Tim Burton movie. The colors were fairly muted, but there was some color to it. But every single time I saw it, and I saw it 4 times pretty much before, I was like, bro, this feels like today's Tim Burton. Like some shit he would actually do. Only difference is I don't think Tim Burton would be that graphic with the decapitations. Hey, what you talking about? Some don't. It's too late. I already did watch Teeth multiple
I,
times ever since the
I
trailer. I was like, oh, I gotta watch this to see what the fuck this is. And boy, it did not disappoint. Oh, planes, trains, and automobiles.
very
Too
funny film.
late.
I have not seen Teeth. I don't know if that's my cup of tea, guys.
Oh, it's not.
For me, it
Short
was
term,
Definitely not.
vagina has teeth and bites things.
okay. I get it. Now, for
And
me,
she's
I have
supposed
to
to be a
be
Christian
honest.
girl too, which is
Yeah, I don't like.
also ironic.
Hmm. Very funny.
But
I
don't
don't
look
like.
at it as a horror. Look at it as a horror comedy, and you'll definitely enjoy it.
I don't like comedies that go too raunchy. I don't mean to prude, but if it goes a little bit too raunchy, I'm turned off.
it's
Looking at you, Hasman Hotel and Hell of a Boss.
Go on,
What?
Leia.
What? What? No, I didn't
No,
hear what
go
Don.
on. You're about to make a statement. Go ahead.
I was just going to say for comedies, since we're talking about, I don't like things that are too raunchy. I'm not a prude, but sometimes some comedies can go over the top with the raunchiness, and it turns me off. That's just me.
You wouldn't
Can't
like
speak for
Teeth
anybody.
either.
Yeah, that's probably not my cup of tea. That's just
Well,
me. I can't speak for anybody
On
else,
the
but
last
not
on the last
raunchy, but it
decapitation,
did
you'll
go a
probably
little
tap
ways.
out.
Do you like Ernest and German Barney?
Dude, Jim Varney, he remained like one of my favorite actors, but well, also like a very funny comedian.
I like him better
Mm.
with the Surreal's All Square commercials.
Yeah, but he also like he knows like
Hey, hey, Bert,
when to be
hey, Bert.
serious, like
Like,
when it
why
gets
you always
dramatic.
stuck in Bert, Varney? You always stuck in Bert. Leave Bert alone.
Like give Vern a break, man.
Hey, Bert. Hey, Bert. Like, you always stuck in Bert. Like, why can't it be Timmy or Dwayne?
Right?
Always
Oh,
Bert.
For the shtick.
I know,
Uh,
but you
that
could
just
have
reminds
changed up the names.
that just
yeah.
reminds me of the Pizza Hut commercial
Hmm.
Hmm. Ooh,
where they
actually,
tortured the pizza.
yeah. Oh, but actually, Wolf. Well, like this year for like for a remembering episode, we should do one for Jim Varney because his birthday is June 15th.
Hmm. My man Jim Varney, our Ernest.
I haven't seen all the movies, but Ernest Scared Straight has always been kind of funny.
Scared stupid.
Ernest,
Oh, Scared
Ernest
Stupid.
Scared,
Scared Stupid.
See,
it's scared
see,
stupid.
I haven't seen it
Scared
in a long
Stupid
time.
will always be my top favorite. It's my I like to be honest. Scared Stupid is the only Jim Varney movie to me.
It's
But he
funny. It's super
he also knew
funny.
like how to balance horror and comedy very well.
Yes,
Because I tried the
yes.
other Ernest movies and they just did not hit that good sweet spot like Scared
But
Stupid did.
have you seen the first Ernest movie, Ernest Goes to Camp?
Yep.
Have you seen Ernest Goes to Jail?
Yes, yes, I did.
And I'm sorry, but Scared Stupid it just does it for me, and nothing else just won't let me like the other ones.
Scared
The only
Stupid is
thing.
it's
Oh,
stupid
go on.
fun. No, okay, I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
just saying it's stupid fun. But go ahead, Dark.
Yeah.
Continue.
I'm just saying the only one I don't think I liked was Ernest Goes to Africa because we all knew you go to Africa, you're not coming back. So him coming back, yeah.
You know what would have been a great crossover?
Mm.
Burt Gummer and Ernest in a Tremors film.
Oh, dude, that
Oh,
is
that
such a
would be
missed
funny.
opportunity.
That
Oh
would have been
God,
a
yes,
great crossover with
yes, I
Burt
agree.
Gummer and Ernest. Just seeing Burt Gummer blast a graboid and the blood spurts on all over Ernest, and he goes ew.
That would have been good. Also,
Yes,
what would have been nice is
Would have been
it
better to
never
have Greg
happened,
Kitty
but
be his long lost
Jim
son.
Varney and Robin Williams did a lot of backstage talking and little fun sessions between each other, and they had great synergy. There's some surviving clips if you can find it where they actually just play off each other beautifully, and it's like, damn, these guys should have done a show or something together.
Right?
Who
Hmm?
Who and Varney?
Robin Williams.
Oh shit!
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah,
But you
there's
gotta
still
think.
some surviving clips of some of the backstage play they did with each other. It was just beautiful.
I
Like,
will love
man,
it.
a crossover between like Bird and Ernest and a collaboration, be it film and TV, between Robin and Jim. Missed opportunities.
Mm.
yes, I agree.
It's like
Missed
man,
Now,
opportunities that could end up becoming a cartoon later.
like I said, I'm
yeah.
just thinking of again a crossover of Burt Gummer and Ernest, and I'm pretty sure Ernest would have been alive and well. He,
Oh yeah.
like people
Ooh,
would have wanted some more Ernest after that Tremors crossover.
Yeah, and it
Like,
could have
shit.
been
yeah.
revealed that Bert's middle name is Vern. So there's Vern.
Oh man, that would have been funny. But also, I mean, it will be a funny revelation. now, now we now we definitely need to like bring up like Bob Saget.
Hmm. The better America's funniest home video host.
Agreed.
Yes.
Nobody
Uh,
except no substitute. Go
I
on,
like.
Larry.
Okay, I don't want to get you up here. I'm gonna be honest. I did not like Full House, but I liked his stand up. His stand up was my favorite. Is his
I didn't
stand up,
mind
and
Full
when
House.
I'm just not a Full House fan, and
I'll be
I was
careful.
forced to
Yeah,
sit
be
through
careful
it.
saying that around Full House fans. Kidding
Never
Yeah,
me.
mind.
yes,
Never did
I watch.
mind. That's
I
their problem.
I don't want their rep. Oh no, my nephew when he was a little boy loved it, and when I had to babysit him, oh my god,
Baby, where you
I,
live, there
I'm
goes
like,
fans.
he said Full House. I'm like, oh please, he wanted to watch Full House, anything but that. I said, okay, all right. He loved the show too, so but
Okay,
I
so
was
let's take
no
a
fan
bet.
of it.
Full House wasn't her favorite, so we got like Golden Girls, The Nanny, uh, Family Matters. Come on, help me here. What else
Thank
was
you
around
all,
for
that time that
being a
we could
I
bet
like
on
the
her
nanny.
favorite?
friend.
I
all in the
love the.
Okay.
family.
I
Seven roads and back
I love the
again.
nanny, especially the lamb chop episode.
Your
yes,
Oh
home
I
is
love.
yeah.
you. You are having a confidant.
Eh.
Oh
And
And in
get
god,
that
you
one,
through the
Charlie wasn't the pain in the
party.
neck that time.
no nanny theme from your wolf. You're supposed to sing the nanny theme.
I love the
She was
nanny
walking
too.
down, watching
She was
things
walking
when her
through
boyfriend.
she
Yep.
was walking through a fashion flashing Queens and her boyfriend kicked her out in a crushing scene. What she do, where she goes, she was out on her fanny. So over to the Sheffield's door, she was there to sell
I was
makeup.
never a Fran Drescher fan. I
She
was
was
just
down. She
couldn't
has flash.
stand
She
her.
was there because plays the
I was
nanny.
more of a CC I was more of a CC appreciator than Fran. Only time I liked Fran was when her mother instincts came in. It's like
Hmm.
everything else about her wasn't great, but like when she became mother, that's when Fran got
Nah,
real
the
good
only
for me.
time I liked Fran Drescher was at the beginning of that Bill Goldberg Santa Claus movie.
Oh yeah.
I kind
Oh,
of like
Mr. Sheffield.
I kind of like the trouble she got into. Like at one part, that one lady wanted to get back with the husband, and she ended up eating a bunch of wasabi sauce like it was pistachio ice cream. And then she sounded amazing.
That's
Okay.
another good one.
I liked all the I liked when Fran's mother would interact with her and they and Sylvia Fine
Hmm.
would come interact with her and I'm going to be honest, it's all the fashions that Fran wore. I like those too
The
when
90s
she
was
came
definitely the fashion era of
yes,
Hmm.
entertainment. So
yes,
you just
yep.
I will always make this joke to everybody. Like you will barely see anybody wearing any of the outfits that some of these characters wore in the '90s in these shows. I ain't never seen. I only seen people dressed like Heavy D like one or two times, but like as far as constantly like they were portrayed in media, no. I'm sorry. Like even the way how D dressed in Clueless. I'm like either it's a hood thing or location thing, but I ain't never seen no black lady dressed like that. I mean, yeah, I saw him dressed like Neil Long from Boys in the Hood at some point, or maybe even Neil Long in Friday here and there. But I'm like, ain't no way in hell no girl dressing up like D from Clueless. That is a lie. Same thing with Will in Fresh Prince. Ain't nobody gonna dress like Will or his homie Jazz or even Carlton for that matter. Like we dress something like Carlton, but not entirely. Same thing with characters in Living Single. I was like, ain't no way in hell somebody's gonna dress like Cleo the
Now,
way she dressed. I ain't
I
never seen no girl try to emulate Shara Ali. Hell no.
I
Wearing that
did
Shara Ali hat.
I did dress like Sinclair in my 20s back then. I had my hair like Sinclair. I'm not going to
Hmm.
lie. I had my hair, those are in my college days when I was
I would
studying
say
acting. I wore my hair like Sinclair, and some of her
I would
clothes they
say
did
the
wear.
closest we ever got to appearing as they portrayed us, most of us in some of these shows was Moesha at
Really?
best. We came
Okay.
close to that, looking like
Okay.
that mostly. Same thing with say like that was when they were pushing to make the characters look exactly like people how people dress in in real life. But like back in them days, I'm like, bro, them outfits look like they were tailor made for those characters in that universe.
Well, yeah, well, you're right because let's take Fran Drescher. Fran Drescher's clothes were vivacious and outgoing because it was to reflect the character's personality. That was
Hmm.
Fran Fine. So her clothes may have been a bit over the top. Some of them I did like. There was one where she would have this
Actually, I take
black
that
skirt
back. I
and
think
this
the
multicolored vest.
only two shows that actually come a bit close was A Different World and Saved by the Bell. Because I do remember
Okay.
some of my peers dressed up like the kids, the quote unquote
Yeah.
kids in Saved by the Bell in A Different World
And
in 90210.
most of my
Mm-hmm.
high school decided to do mini skirts one year.
Hmm. But I'm just saying, like you look at the fashion and you look at you try. I would say like get one of your Polaroid pictures and see if you dress just like those characters in that show. Because I've seen some old Polaroids here and there. I'm like, ain't no way in hell we dress just like these characters in these shows. No way. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying the media is lying, but like when you really go down to it, it's like it's kind of funny how they tailor made these outfits for these characters only, and not really reflecting the fashion what people were wearing at the time. I mean, yeah, you put most of that fashion you'll see on a few people, like the entirety closet. Nah, it's like I like homie, I didn't even dress like Will Smith like that. My mom didn't even dress me like him. I I scoured the stores looking for the clothes that he wore. I was like, where the stuff? I
that's
want to
that's
dress like Will Smith.
that's when hip hop culture was rolling over into fashion. There,
Hmm.
Not
so I think
not just
that's what you're
hip
talking
hop, but
about.
also New Jack Swing.
Yes. Yeah,
But the
that was
thing
rolling.
is, I mean, like I said, it might have been a location thing because I don't know, man. I ain't never seen nobody in my neck of the woods in my state in my city dressed the way they did. It
What did you
must
say,
have been.
California?
Mm-hmm.
That's
In
interesting.
and earlier Los Angeles, like ain't no way
Yeah.
in hell. I ain't, like either that must be how Detroit people wore, you know,
And New
or
York.
in New York, or I was like,
Hmm.
no way in hell.
That's interesting.
Maybe the fashion didn't get out to our neck of the woods. I guess.
That's interesting because some of the hip hop culture does come from the LA area. So I am surprised you couldn't find any fashions there at the time. Maybe again
Hmm.
the area you were at, but in New York it was
Even
very heavy.
again, even people
Yeah.
who I surrounded myself with when we were around, and we had get-togethers. Nobody dressed like that. Nobody.
Yeah.
I
Well, oftentimes, I was like, you would see people like back then in our generation, they were dressed up like as their favorite comedians, like based on like what they wore in their individual specials.
There was one fashion line between elementary and junior high that ended up being really popular among the kids in my class, and it was called, I think it was called like the Little Homies series. You know, with the baggy pants and the baggy
Hmm.
shirt that made the person look like one big letter A without the space
I mean,
in
shit.
between the
Most of us didn't
legs.
even wear the pants that they might as well had air blowing in them.
Well, it turns out if you wear those on the monkey bars, you need to make sure to have a belt.
No, my thing is, even then, like nobody wore pants that looked like they were inflated when they wanted to. I'm just saying, it's like man, the nineties was wild with the fashion scene.
Oh
And
yeah.
like I said,
But also,
I call the nineties the fashion era.
It was also the time I think when I think it was either the Jordans or The canvas sneakers got to being really expensive for some reason because they seemed to be in fashion at that
Did
time.
they?
Always in fashion, actually.
Oh yeah. Well, also, well, like during that time, well, like comedy as well as comedians, it was like they were equal opportunity and took risks.
And we talked about Martin earlier. He was a big endorser of Jordans, wasn't he?
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
He was always talking about Jordans in his skits, or even just it would just take any opportunity to bring up the Jordans, just really endorse Michael Jordan's footwear. That always had me crying. It was like this motherfucker always talking about some Jordans. He
And
must
he had hip
he
hop
must have.
style on his show. If you look at the fashions
Hmm.
that all of them that they wore on that show, Cole, Pam, they all of them were reflecting the influence of hip hop in the fashion world.
Yeah, I wanted a
That,
jacket that had love in big bold letters running down the side of my jacket pad with the African colors and the brown mixed in with the dark brown sleeves. I want
Or
that.
the mid-drift t-shirts.
That's 80s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the '80s.
Yeah, that was the 80s.
I want some of those too. I wouldn't mind wearing that as a kid. Hell, I wanted bell bottoms too. It's like as soon as I saw dudes walking in, I'm like, I want some too. Like my mom, I was a closed mouth kid. My mom never really knew what I wanted at the time. I just like I, s- my whole shtick was if I do good, mom will reward me in some capacity. You know, that was my shtick. But I'm like I want some bell bottoms too. I want
Well,
to wear
hey,
the same jacket as Will wore in Fresh Prince. Ain't never saw them
well,
in a clothes rack.
well, hey,
TV
well,
lied to
hey,
me.
well. To be fair, man, like, and hey, even brought this up. Like, bell bottoms did come back.
Bell bottoms was a real
everyone,
thing. I'm talking about the shit that they wore in the '90s. That's the thing. Bell shit. Flare pants came back.
I
Mm-hmm.
loved flare plant pants.
Somehow they came back through artwork. But damn, I saw somebody at the store, the grocery store today, wearing some. It was a nice old lady too. I was like, ooh. So it is true. Flare pants made a comeback, and we had the.
oh, I thought it wolf disappeared for a
Did
second.
everything go quiet?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
You got cut off.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, I got cut off.
technical
No,
difficulty.
no, no. It's
Oh,
Wolf.
okay, yeah, technical difficulties. No, I was gonna say, while he's coming back in, Fresh Prince, Will Smith. I knew some guys and some younger kids that did want to dress like the Fresh Prince, but that was the '90s, and they wanted to have his style of clothing. And like I said, I dressed like Sinclair, not costume wise, but I just had her style, and my hair was done like that, and so I had the hairstyle like her back in the day for a little while. So
There
it
was
kind of it worked for me.
there was yeah, I tried getting night tits from a bunch of fashion machines, but there was like
Hmm.
one high schooler during dress like a cartoon day for homecoming. She decided to dress as Daria.
Uh,
And I didn't know how utterly average Daria's wardrobe was. Of course, I hadn't even seen the cartoon at all. And she's like, Daria, you know Daria? And just like, yeah, sure, Daria. Uh, Daria? And they're like, you know, Daria. And then she brings out this pamphlet that had the synopsis of what the cartoon was. And I was more along the lines of I was more along the lines of Outlaw Star and Bo 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 and Toonami, and I didn't even know that cartoon existed.
Me neither. Hate X. I'm
Not
about to shock.
Golden Girls.
I'm about to shock our fleet. I didn't watch it that much. I'm sorry.
Me neither, but it was a
I
fine
was
show to me.
Yes, I'm not disagreeing. It wasn't a good show and it wasn't a classic, but I got to tell the truth. I was not watching it that much.
Oh,
That's
There's a
what
Golden
bunch of
Girls?
old ladies wanting
Yes.
to whore out in their golden age.
Yeah.
That's pretty much
One
what it
of them.
was. Well, not all of them, really. It was all about
It was the original Sex and the
dating,
City.
boyfriend, sex. It was Sex in the City before Sex in the City, but with older
But
women.
better.
Yeah.
I
But
liked it
better.
because the banter was better than I'd seen on other TV shows.
Mhm.
Yes, I'll
Yeah.
give you that. I'll give you that. The chemistry of the actresses was the shining star of the show. I will give you that. Yes, they all, Betty White and all the other actors, all of them blended in really good. But I have to tell the truth, I couldn't call it my all-time favorite. My mom loved it, but Saturday night I was either watching MTV or out with my friends, or I was watching some of my favorite classic geek shows that they had back in the day. We had this little thing called syndication television, and that's where all the good out of the box shows were at, and that's what I would be watching.
I was
Or
the kid
MTV.
that I was the kid that got up late at night and tuned into channels so I could have the TV to myself when I
Yeah,
was supposed to be in bed.
I was the same way because back then Friday was the videos night, and we were MTV, and it was like, oh, but the MTV event videos about to come on late night, and that's where I was at. And then me and my sister watched Saturday Night Live, and we also loved to watch Glow, Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling, and me and my sister were big fans of that. Because one time they came to our city, and we went to see the Glow Ladies in live, and it was a lot of fun. Well, having technical difficulties again.
You've been in and out, Wolf.
Yeah, it's Firefox. My
I can-
stream, my end.
Oh, okay. I can understand the technical difficulties.
Someone's always Firefox.
What? Did Dom ask something?
Oh, so I'm saying it's always Firefox, but in general, it's
Yeah.
tech issue is annoying, even when it's happening in the most like worst possible times.
Oh, that sucks. Because I know, because I told myself after my power went out tonight, we had a little storm. I got to get me a Wi-Fi extender of some kind because it's making me sick. I'm like, oh, this is getting on my nerves. So I've got to find me a good Wi-Fi extender, a brand new one that's really good for these days when my computer wants to act up.
I switch between my router and hotspot.
Maybe I should start doing that. Just when we have stormy days.
Well, it probably doesn't help that somewhere out in the United States, instead of raining, it's snowing.
It's some, but here in Michigan, it was cold. Now today it was nice and warm, but we got severe weather, and we seem to get it's here in Michigan in the season. It's heavy thunderstorm and lightning season.
Yeah, Colorado, it decided to have a spring snowfall.
I believe you. I believe you. Someplace, but
You want to
here
start
in
wrapping it
Michigan,
up?
Oh,
yeah,
that sounds like a good idea. We've hit the small talk part of the station.
yeah. So I think we've covered. If anybody else have any last thoughts on comedy, if I have to leave a last thought on comedy, all I will say is we need more of it. We've got to bring comedies back in motion pictures and on television. I think we
I'm
need
just
good
tired of
sitcoms.
self-aware comedy.
Yeah,
Point.
and
Yeah.
you know, like it's not just like the old guard, or like who's continuing to stand up against political correctness, but also the young bloods. But it's like who's been taking a stand while still doing their own routines. Like for example, like Matt Rife, or like
Tell you
he's a
one comedian in particular has surprised me the most of recent, and I thought he was nothing to really write home about that much either. I don't know what where he leans politically or anything. Rob Schneider,
yeah.
he's been coming up to headways just slamming into Democratic and liberal politicians and the like. He's just saying whatever the hell he's saying about them and just really just taking it to heart on just telling people what's going on.
Well, he
Oh
did
yeah,
have to suffer for two Deuce Bigelow movies, so
Hmm.
yeah,
That must be
yeah.
revenge.
And of course, like he doesn't talk. He doesn't just like take jabs just like at Democrats and leftists, but he also like take some jabs at Republicans as well.
Hmm.
Uh, the Jewish guy who did what was that one thing? It was a new news YouTube channel.
Are you talking about Andrew Schultz?
Yeah, I think so. He did some pretty good stuff. I ended up he had left his skit on the air for one day. The only problem is I forgot which YouTube channel that it was linked to, and every time I throw up USA News, I get Tales of India or BBC News. And oh my gosh, 50-year-old guy with a spiked haircut is. I'm sorry, Guy Fieri does it better.
Well, I thank everyone for being here. Those three of you now, and those nonsense and motherfuckers keep popping in and out. Thank you, my good friend Vero for joining on the side of Instagram. Now I've gotten Instagram to work with me on streaming. If you can hear me, uh, thank you so much, guys, for hearing us talk about comedy and laughing with us, probably behind your keyboards. Those who are going to laugh in the future, those who are probably going to laugh at us being trying to be funny, like myself.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Coming up, we're still on the horizon of getting close to the anime spotlight with Robotech. Do you remember
Cross.
Love? Huh?
Nothing.
Or even we got some more elevator pitches coming up pretty soon this year. Maybe we'll do another one. Movie spotlights is making a return. We're definitely going to be again still in the cards doing Kaiju number 8. And
Yay!
yeah, that's usually Humble's cue. I think
Awesome.
he's all. I
Yes.
think he's
No,
all.
I'm looking forward like to when we eventually cover Kaiju number 8.
And of course, Don's favorite fanfic, Dragon Ball Gine, is still on the horizon.
Yeah, we're gonna go back to cover. Gonna cover Dragon Ball Gine.
But we
Gine?
got whatever. Anyways, we
Gine?
also have.
What's Gine?
Anyways, we got
And Goku's mom. And
we got.
Goku's mom and Bardock's wife.
Look, motherfucker! I'm trying to announce our next project.
Hey, I'm just answering Dark's question.
I don't care.
Hey, this sounds like a Gine these nuts kind of joke.
Shut up. We got a triple whammy coming up in June, or was it July, where we're tackling 3 seasons of Reboot, one of ABC's crown jewels that they had slept on until Cartoon Network picked back up and was able to complete itself.
Nice.
Yes, we're gonna tackle another mainframe production in Reboot. You guys voted for it. We're gonna do it. It was between that
Yay.
and Shadow Raiders, aka War Planets. But you guys voted and you decided, so your vote counted. We are doing Reboot. and hopefully next year we'll do War Planets, aka Shadow Raiders. I personally prefer War Planets. Anyways, plus we have some other possible animated projects, so we'll definitely kickstart another anime spotlight before we even get across that bridge.
Like the new hit, Devil May Cry on Netflix.
Hail to the now.
Devil May Cry on Netflix?
Hail to the now.
I'm more a fan of Heavy Metal Family myself.
But we do need to talk about the 2007 Devil May Cry anime. That was definitely on one of my lists. Was talking about that anime long before this thing was coming up, and apparently it came up. So here we are. My timing is it's not that great, but I try.
It just needs a lot of enemas.
Anyways, thank you, the humble Zariah's Humble Marty.
Hello, I'm Humble Marty, and I write things. Thank you for coming to our show today.
The lovely Leia Valet plus size.
Hello, everyone. This is Leah Plus Size, your lovely lady of valor. And thank you for joining us in our discussion of comedy, something that we need more in the world. If you would like in the comments below, please list your favorite comedians, comedic actor. Do you have an all-time favorite comedic movie or maybe TV show? List them in the comments. I'm sure Wolf would love to hear from you. But until then, everybody stay safe and enjoy your weekend.
The Hound of the South Donic Pal.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us in tonight's episode of The Real Millennials. Make sure you stay tuned for next Thursday's episode, as well as everything that Wolf has announced what we're going to be doing this year. This is the Hound of the South, Donnie Powell, signing off. And remember, you have a good Thursday weekend. And remember to keep up the good fight and keeping hope, idealism, and optimism alive. Because remember, cynicism and nihilism are for losers.
And the Sixth Ranger, Dark Stranger.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
This is your Will Commander Will Tay. Remind you guys that we are definitely hitting all cylinders throughout this year. There's going to be some stuff that I'm hopefully going to get together and put together. But yeah, we're definitely a working nation now. We're just working, grinding. We picked a hell of a year to start getting our shit together, right?
Yes.
Indeed.
So I have to remind you guys once again, you are the UN Spacey. Welcome to the Wolf Fleet.
Big smiles, everyone. You beat the bad guy.
What a lot of fun. You guys have been real swell. And there's not a one who can say this ended well. All those secrets you've been concealing, say you're happy now, once more with feeling. Now I gotta run, see you home.